crazy wild day, and they're so glad to be like in their pink bubble. So you're in the right place. And you guys, tonight we're going to be talking about how to contour a face. So you're going to learn, and this is something you can tell your customers, because I book a lot of people with just this one line. I can teach you how to take off 10 pounds in 10 seconds. And they're like, oh yeah, I need to know that. And so I don't tell them, they get that at their appointment. So that's a little thing you can tell your customers. I'm going to teach you how to take off 10 pounds visually in 10 seconds. So that's just a good thing. So we're going to talk about contouring tonight. We're going to watch a quick video, part of it. I'm going to stop it before it talks about the lips, because we're going to be talking all about lips next week. So this would be a great week to invite guests to come learn how to have a big, beautiful, sexy pout for Christmas. All kinds of great lip tricks. If you've got somebody who has really thin lips, we're going to teach you guys how to make them look fuller in a very natural way. If they've got large lips and they want to minimize their lips, there's a trick for that too. So there's all kinds of cool lip stuff that you'll learn next week. But today is all about sculpting the face and helping it to just look that pretty, chiseled, slimmer look that a lot of us are going after. So, okay, so we're going to watch just a little bit first on our video. So I'm going to give you guys, we'll go through this a little slower so you can understand what it's saying. But basically, with contouring, you're creating shadows on the face that are either, like for example, they were saying about contouring here on the round face, that's really going to slim the face. And a lot of your customers, one of the best ways to check for face shape, you guys, is to have them pull their pull their hair off their face, not their face, their hair, and have them look in the mirror, because bangs make a really big difference. Because everybody says, oh, you have a heart-shaped face. And so I pull my hair back, and then you can see, no, I'm more oval. I'm more equal distance on both of these. So hair really makes a big difference. So have them pull their hair back. And if you think about, Lori Hogg gave us a great idea. She's one of our makeup artists, and she's phenomenal. And she said, imagine looking in the mirror, and she said the face shape that we all want to go toward is more of that oval face shape. And so anything that's outside of that oval, you want to shade or contour. So, just like they were talking about, if you imagine, and that's kind of a logical way if you're looking at somebody's face, even if you can't identify if they're really square or really round, if you know we want that perfect oval in the middle, she said, imagine looking in the mirror and taking a lipstick on the mirror and drawing an oval on your face. Anything that's outside of that lipstick on the mirror, you want to shade or contour. So like if you got a customer who has a real square face, a real square jawline, and some people really like that square jawline, so they wouldn't necessarily have to contour, but some people would like to make that a little softened. So you can take the bronzing powder, not the shimmer, but the matte. You never want to contour with the shimmer. You always contour with a matte, because you're going to draw more attention to that area if you shimmer it up. So matte is what you want to think about. But like for a square face, think about if you got an oval, and you got a square behind it, you're basically just contouring those corners, right? So you contour here and you contour here. So think about if you've got a square on a piece of paper and you've got an oval drawn in the middle. Anything outside that oval, you contour. Okay? That'll make it a little more simple when you're sitting down with people. When she explained it that way, I was like, okay, I get it. Because contouring had always been something I thought, oh my gosh, that's so complicated. But I'm going to show you guys a couple of techniques. But some of the things that Lori shares as well that were really good. You've got a couple different ways to contour, a couple different products that you can use different things. Your bronzer is your easiest thing to contour with. The Sandstone bronzer is your matte bronzer, and so that's what most of my customers, if they're ivory or beige, that's what we contour with. And then if you're bronze customers, you can use Bronze Diva. It's going to be your matte and your bronze. Okay, so those are just kind of your easy go-to. I know Lori Hogg's been using hazelnut eyeshadow a lot lately to contour. She takes 6 hazelnut eyeshadows and puts it in a compact, so like in your compact mini, so it fills up the whole compact, then just takes the brush and basically uses it as a face powder instead of an eyeshadow. Yeah, isn't that a great idea? Wow. So, and Hazel's awesome anyway, so she uses that, but one of the things that she had mentioned as well, your contour color should be 2 shades darker than your skin tone. So when you're thinking about that, when you're using Sandstone, if you're a beige 6, it may not show up real well. You may have to go you may have to use a Bronze Diva if you're a beige 6, because the Sandstone isn't going to show up very much on a beige 6. Okay, so 2 shade darker. 2 shades darker. A couple of products you can use to contour. You can use foundation to contour. So you could use 2 shade darker of foundation and use that to contour the areas of your face that you want to make more into that oval. You can use powder, like loose powder, 2 shades darker, okay? You can use, like I said, the bronzers, the matte bronzers. You can use a mineral powder as long as it was 2 shades darker. So anything that's just a little bit darker are great to contour with. So that gives you some different options. I know the foundation is really natural to contour with because you can blend it and things. So that's a really nice thing to do for someone like for their wedding or for pictures. But I know Lori Hogg for years just used the powder, our loose powder as a contour. But the bronzers are just kind of a quick go-to, great way to contour. Okay? We'll come back and talk about highlighters. All right, some tips from Lori on contouring. Contouring plays 2 roles. It can help hide or slim larger facial features, or it can bring out bone structure. That's basically your 2 goals with contouring. If a forehead is large or long, you can contour along the hairline. Okay, so if you've got somebody who has a wide forehead and they like to minimize that, you'd help them contour along the hairline. If the forehead's small, do not contour. And a lot of times we just want to put bronzer just everywhere, and the shimmer bronzer is okay to do that, but if you're doing it to contour, you don't want to put it just everywhere, because it's going to make their forehead look smaller. So if they've got a little forehead, you don't want to contour it, okay? And I can scan this and put it on our website too. You can contour all cheeks with one exception. So in other words, I'm going to show you all a little trick that I use, that it's the swoosh. Lori Hogg taught us. I'll show you guys in just a minute, because I'm real hands-on. Aren't you guys? I want to see it on somebody, so we'll do that in just a second. If the face is very thin, you've got a really thin customer, contouring the cheeks will give her a sick look. So if they're a real thin girl, you don't want to contour, because that's just going to accentuate that hollowness in her face as well, so don't do that. That's the only time that you don't want to contour, okay? Contouring the cheeks gives a lifted, thinner effect to the face, also enhances the cheeks. If you have large cheeks or a prominent jawline, bring contour down to the jawline. So if you've got someone who has a real prominent jawline, or they want to minimize this or this, I've got a lot of customers that say, "Oh, Holly, this is just driving me crazy under here." If you shade this, you contour it, it creates a shadow and it looks tighter. So another way to look like you've lost weight. So you take that sandstone and you just color. You fill this in real good. Get it on your powder, on your brush, do it 2 or 3 times, and you just blend on here. And I know at a seminar a couple years ago, Linda Tupin was talking about that Lori Hogg had used like bronze 2, I think, or something crazy, powder to contour under here, and she was on stage.
She really did.
We were like, wow. She looked so, like her skin just, she looked different. I mean, she just looked tight and good, and she's 60, so I mean, it looked really, really good on her. So that's a great place to contour as well. So if you've got a customer who wants this to look tighter, we'll help her contour here, or to give her a more prominent jawline if she's, maybe it kind of goes straight down and she doesn't have a good prominent jawline, you can contour here as well, and it's going to kind of give a little bit of definition as well, okay? If more skin if more skin on the under chin than desired, contour the under chin blending down the neck. In other words, if this area is larger than she wants, you contour here and then you just blend it down. So you don't want to just have just sandstone right here. Okay, so you contour here and blend it down the neck, okay? And then she said, this was a good tip too, when contouring noses, do not contour a crooked nose. It only enhances that look. So you don't want to, if she's got a crooked nose, you don't want to contour it, okay? All right. And then we'll talk about highlighting in just a minute. All right, so let me, I'm going to pass this around so you all can see. This is that Color Insider book that you can get from Mary Kay. I think it's $15 on section 2. It's just got some great tips. So you can sit down with somebody, and you can even ask your customer, you can say, well, what face shape do you think you have? Or, and you can help them find their face shape. And then it tells you where to contour and where to highlight. So what I want you to do right now is with a friend, somebody that's sitting near you, I want you to figure out what your face shape is. Do you have a round face? And here's the round face, typically younger, looking longer, which is good. Round face features shorter, wider, full cheeks, and a rounded chin. So that's round face. Square face, obviously nice, strong jawline, okay? Oval face, it's symmetrical, so it's the same width here as here, and it's an oval shape. Heart-shaped face has a thinner chin and a wider forehead, so think about the shape of a heart, okay? All right, so figure out your face shape with your friend, someone sitting near you. So when you're at your classes, this is my demo of my bronzers. I always keep a Desert Sun and a Sandstone because it's just really easy to demo. Everybody loves seeing how cute little compact mini is. It fits in your back pocket. And I always show them you can hide your little tools under there. So everybody loves it. I sell more of these than I do any of the compacts because it's cute and it's little. And you can put a lot in it. You can put 6 eyeshadows in here. So, okay. All right, Melissa, you want to be my model. Come up here. She volunteered. She was the first volunteer.
I was like, I'll do it.
Do you want pictures?
Sure. Before.
Okay, so we'll do it before and after. You can use the brushes. I like doing the cheek color brush because it's a little more narrow, so it's easy to get in there. And you guys, these brushes make such a big difference. And if you are worried about the price of our brush set, you need to go research the price of brushes. Has anybody done that lately?
Yes.
You know, a good brush, minimum $50, minimum for one. That's a good deal on a good brush. A lot of them are $100, $150. If you go to a show, some of the makeup artists will sell theirs and they're like $500 for a set of brushes. Our brushes literally are around $10 each. And you guys, these are very high quality pony and goat hair. So they're really high-end brushes. And they work really well. So our brush set, I put in a couple extra in here. I put my foundation brush in here too. But it comes with the cheek color brush, the big powder brush, the eyeliner brush, which is absolutely my favorite, and then 2 of your eyeshadow brushes. So anyway, I like the cheek color brush, looks really well, works really well. All right, so what we're gonna do, what face shape do you think Melissa has? Okay, so you can kind of see it's equal distance as far as her forehead and then on her jawline as well. Because she was thinking she was round.
That was big. I was like, 50.
No, you're not. So, and round, if you've got a round face, that is a good thing because you will look youthful usually longer than any other face shape. So if you're round, be thankful. If you're oval, be thankful because you don't have to do a whole lot of contouring. But round faces, so when you look in the mirror, round usually will just come out a little bit more this way. And like I said, it keeps a more youthful look longer. All right, so the trick that Lori Hogg taught us, and just with regular contouring, I want you to turn your face that way so everybody see okay. So when I want you to feel your face, you feel that ledge, that bone where your cheek is, right underneath that. You feel that little like indentation right underneath there. That's where you contour. Okay, so that's the area. If you want to make your cheekbones really stand out and you're not super thin, that's the area you want to contour. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get the sandstone on here, and what she said to do is I'm going to feel, so hers is right there. Now, I'm showing you guys on her. Now, when you sit down with your customers, make sure you're teaching them how. You say, here's where you put it on, and you let them do it. Because when they get home, if they don't, when they get home, they're going to be like, what did I do? And we're not allowed to touch, but she's my friend, and we're just Mary Kay friends up here. Yeah, we're doing this for friendship. But when you're sitting down with your customers, because you'll have some that, will you do it for me? You say, you know what, I'm going to help you. I'll guide you every step of the way. But I want you to try because you won't remember how to do it tomorrow if I do it for you. And I want you to feel where it goes. Okay, so basically, there's her cheekbone, and there's the little ledge right there. So we're just going to swoop it right underneath there. Okay? Now, I can see it a little bit, but I'm going to go back and add just a little bit more. And so basically, I've just colored that in just a little bit. And so you can see, you see a little bit of a difference right there. See how that just kind of brought out that cheekbone a little bit and made it stand out on this side compared to the other side. Can you all see it over there? See, it just brings it out. So it's naturally going to kind of bring out that cheekbone. You want to see? got a mirror in here, not here. This is big. So see, it creates just a little bit of a shadow, okay? All right, so, now it said on the oval face we can contour the temples a little bit too if we want to, so we're just gonna contour just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna contour, all of us want this tighter, right? Unless we are just working out a whole lot, and unless you're like 20, you want this tighter. So all you girls over 25, we wanna contour this, so. I don't care how much I work out, this didn't change a whole lot. I mean, I worked out hard today. That made a difference. All right, so I'm just gonna go in underneath her jawline. We're just gonna make her jawline look a little more defined. So when you're doing this at home, you're just gonna color in right in here. And this is where I said right in here, this is where Lori Hogg did like bronze 2 powder on Linda Tupin. Linda Tupin's a beige 5, I think. She's beige 5 or beige 4. So she used several colors darker and it looked good. And she just basically blended it down, because this is shadowed anyway, so you're not gonna see it really.
So I wear a beige 3 though. If I wore that, I would look dirty.
But that might, there's a big difference between beige 3 and beige 4. Beige 3 is a lot lighter. Beige 3 is, in my opinion, a step above ivory 6. Beige 2 is darker than beige 3. Beige 3 has more of a pink undertone, kind of a, it's gonna be a much lighter on. All right. So you basically fill this in. Can you see a difference, you guys, along her jawline there? Take bigger to take that so you can see. See how that just created that shadow? It made it look a little more defined. And so now I'm just going to continue it.
Now everyone else is wishing they brought their sandstone with them today.
So your assignment when you go home is to get your sandstone out and start playing. But I'm telling you guys, when I've done this with my customers, they're like, oh my gosh, this is a great trick. But then when I show them the eyelid trick, they're like, oh, that one's the best.
Yeah.
But they love this trick too because it just makes a big difference. And if you're like me, and I get really, really pasty, very pale in the winter, so I bronze and contour more in the winter. But once I get done, I'm like, oh, I have color again. I look better because I can be like I can use ivory 6 right now or beige 3, either one. But as the winter goes on, I can even go a little bit lighter, so I do bronze. And you can bronze. I mean, Lori Hogg will bronze all the way down to where the shirt meets, you know. So it just gives you a little bit of color. So I'm just extending that on down.
At Red Jacket Retreat, she said you can get, if after you get used to contouring, you can take it a shade darker, and shade darker, and shade darker, and that's why Linda uses the bronze too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like blending is like the biggest. And
And
don't do it with the cotton ball.
Exactly, and that's why these brushes, Hillary, I'm glad you brought that up, because these brushes, you guys were there such a good quality, you don't have to do a lot of blending, because it looks really good. Hey, guys. Guys, if that's your guest, go get them and have them come up and sit with you. Just bring them up here, Sarah. There's your right here. Okay. Yep, one here. Okay. All right. So, now look at your jawline. See how that created a little bit of a shadow down there? Okay. Okay, so there you go. All right, so that's just a really quick and easy way to contour just about any face shape. You can contour here and here, and it's going to make a really big difference. Again, if they've got a really round face or really strong square jawline, then you can contour around where the oval would be. So kind of think about around it here. Okay. All right. Okay. Next thing. Get up there. All right, next thing. So your assignment this week is to go home and play with contouring. And you saw in the video they were talking about the highlighting pen. It does a really good job of brightening things up. You can highlight down the center of your face. I love to highlight the cheekbone like I taught you guys the other day. Do the C shape and then blend it in. Makes your cheekbones look like amazing. Okay? Yeah, no, I'll show you real quick. Because the guests will come too.
Okay.
Okay, guests, I'm going to teach you guys how to make your cheekbones look amazing, okay? You can come up here and you can be my
Oh,
guinea pig. Oh, yes.
but this will make me look beautiful.
This will make
We'll
you
remember
good,
this moment
that's
when you
right.
said that when you're giving your national speech.
That's right.
That's right.
I remember when she would even go up in front of
With no
20
makeup
people
on.
to be a model.
Kiki teaches middle school social studies. We all need to just say, oh, she's got a lot of hormones to deal with during
She
the
has my
day.
son in her class.
Oh,
She's
he's a good
enough.
boy.
He's adorable.
Okay, so when you're making, I'll have to give you this. So one of the ways you can make your cheekbones look really good is use the highlighting pen from Mary Kay. It just clicks up, it comes up through this little brush. And if you were using it at home, now I'm demoing it, so I'm putting it on my hand. But at home, you would just draw in. It's basically for anything that's shadowed. So anything on your face that's shadowed. So like if you think of this area here gets shadowed. And sometimes it almost looks like we have dark circles and we don't. It's that shadow there. This will brighten that up. But it also makes your cheekbones look really good. So if we were using this at home, we would just draw right on the face. But for demo purposes, at your classes, you can just put this in a tray and they can use their fingertip. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight her cheekbone. So we're basically going to make a C shape around her eye because we want the attention to be up here. And you can already see how the light hits there and makes that cheekbone look stronger. And turn to the other side so you see, makes a big difference. And you can, she is so glad she came tonight.
I am so glad. As I stare at myself, I'm thinking, why?
No. But you guys, you want that attention. But the key is with your highlighter pen, I've done it before and didn't blend real well, and I got in the car and I thought, oh my, I could see the C. You don't want to see the C shape, okay? You want to blend it.
It's cool.
But see how it just kind of brings light there? And then we'll do the other side so you won't go home crooked. I know you're
My kids, my
You're-
2-year-old
yeah,
Molly,
your two-
yes.
they would totally
They
notice.
would, yeah. Now, my middle schoolers, they will notice. Oh, you want to notice everything.
My elementary kids used to love my red lipstick. They're like, Miss Brown, you have the prettiest red lipstick.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, since I've been using my Mary Kay, it's been a couple months now, about a month in. Oh, my goodness. This man, your face, now I use the similar colors that I used to use, it's just obviously a different product, and the skincare. She said, Sweetie, your face looks really different, in a good way. Are you doing something different in a good way? Okay. So I told Holly, I was like, it's got to be my product.
There you go, exactly. So this, they call it the magic wand in the makeup business or in Hollywood, they call this the magic wand. So the actress has been out all night and they want her to look better, they use like a highlighting pen. And so anywhere that there's shadows, so think about here, around the nose, the lash lines. If you want to make your lips look more pouty, you can do it right here, right below the middle of your bottom lip, or right here where the little V is right above. And it really just accentuates your lips. But I love the cheekbone look, because if you contour here and then you do the highlighter pen on your cheekbone, oh yeah. But you want to do this last, okay? You don't want to do this before you do your blush, because your blush will kind of stick to it too. So this is the last thing you do. This is what I think every customer should have in her purse, is kind of like the emergency. I feel like I'll look horrible at the end of the day and I'm going out to Applebee's. I need to look like I'm alive and I had sleep. So this is the Made You Look Like You Had Some Sleep pen. It's $18 for the pen. Mine usually lasts me quite a while, a couple months maybe. Depends on how often you use it. If you use it every day, you're going to use it a little bit faster. But you just click it up. First time you use it, you have to click it several times to get the product going. And then every time, you just click it like once or twice and put it on. But this is, in my opinion, one of the best things. And Kirsty was talking about how many compliments she's gotten from her family about, wow, what a difference your face looks. So the highlighting pen makes a big difference. Okay, so your assignment is to go home and try your contouring on you. And then you want to practice on 5 people, okay? Highlighting and contouring, so showing the highlighter pen and using the bronzing techniques. And has anybody been watching the glamour videos? Have you watched the video on In Touch yet? Okay, put that on your list, because the videos are awesome, and they're not very long. They have our makeup artist on there. When you go under Product Central, and you go down to where it says All About Color,
Oh,
click
yeah,
on
those.
that.
Okay, yes, yes, yes.
Great videos. There's smoky eye video. There's all kinds of videos. They're really good, and they'll really teach you. They'll empower you more when you sit down with your customers. So, okay, awesome. Well, DJ, if you will hit our music, we'll